here's the deal. It's time to talk about my podcast appearance. Now, it's funny because people have been asking me all week, Phil, when are you going to be on the Side Scrollers podcast? And I keep telling them, I'm not going to announce it. It's their show. It's on them to announce it. And they were telling me that they were going to announce it today on their show when the podcast appearance was going to be. They did not announce it today. They were going to announce it, and they said, oh, we'll talk about it tomorrow. All right? Now, I get the feeling I know what's going on. All right? I don't know because, I'm not over there. I have been watching some of the podcasts, and I actually really like their show. I do. Admittedly, I'm an old school fan of the Screw Attack stuff from the 2000s. All right? And so to have that vibe again back here in 2023, a group of people who all have different perspectives, and it's a good, fun variety show. I really like their show, okay? Just being honest, transparency. I watch it, okay? But I know for a fact what's happened is since they announced that I was going to be on the show, which I was afraid this was going to happen, and I did warn Craig about it. I said, you got to understand, I got a group of haters, man, and they're going to just inundate you with shit. And that's exactly what's happened. Every day, they're trying to do their show, and they've probably got a ton of people in there, all right, that are not there for the show. They're literally there to crap on me daily. Whatever new thing, whatever new jab they can take at me, whatever new thing they can say on the show, which is stupid, has nothing to do with the content of their show, but it seems like this is what they've been doing constantly. I'm sure their stream chat is inundated. I'm sure the comments on their podcasts are probably completely inundated with this filth. What I used to go through on YouTube. Like literally, that's what my videos used to be until I turned on the ability to moderate the comments. Now, that stuff doesn't exist anymore because I have the ability to get rid of it and only have the productive comments be on my content. You see? So, what I feel happens is every day they're just trying to do their own show, and every day they got these asshole idiots going in there. Oh, where's Phil? When's he going to come on? Do you hate Phil? Fuck Phil. Can you imagine how tiring that is? They're just trying to do their own show, man. And they got to put up with that shit, right? Seriously. And basically the way I see it is it's unfair to them. They didn't expect this. They weren't asking for it. They just kind of got thrown into this situation. I apologize publicly to them for any kind of bullshit. I wish I could control it or fix it. I can't, I just can't. This is what I've lived with for a decade. This kind of nonsense everywhere I go. You know what I mean? It sucks. So to them, this is probably like the biggest momentous thing that's going to happen on the show, only because when it's done, they probably feel like they can finally breathe a sigh of relief and move on. I totally understand that. And of course, that's not originally what this was supposed to be. I was just supposed to be a normal guest on their show, a variety show. It wasn't supposed to be an interrogation of Phil, and now it is an interrogation of Phil. Okay? So, all of that being said, okay, basically, they were, they've been telling me, I'll be honest with you guys, I kind of knew when I was going to be on the show all along. I kind of knew. But I think that they wanted to do it at their own pace. They didn't want their show every day to be talking about it. But now I have to talk about it because I want you guys to know my schedule for the week. I mean, at this point, it's affecting me and my work too. I need you guys to know what's going on this week with me and my schedule, all right? So, yes, I'm about to let the cat out of the bag. As long as nothing changes between now and then, and literally I don't think anything would change on my end. It would be on their end. So today I'm streaming, tomorrow I'm streaming normally, Wednesday's my day off. Now they literally on the show this morning said, well, Friday we've got a full day of content. We're going to be playing Mario Kart and all this. I'm like, well, they kind of let the cat out of the bag too, because if you know my schedule and you know their schedule, let's see. I'm streaming today and tomorrow. I'm off on Wednesday, and they've got a day booked on Friday. I wonder what day I'll be appearing on the Side Scrollers podcast. Right? So, I think you can figure it out. All right? So, here's how it's going to work. All right? Their show airs much earlier than mine. Their show starts at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Okay? Or 11 Central. I believe Craig lives in Central Time Zone. So that's why it's there. And their show usually runs about an hour to 2 hours. It depends on the subject matter or whatever. Okay? So, my plans are as follows. Okay? This Thursday, when normally I'd be coming back from break and I'd have a big podcast planned where I talk about Phil's day off and topics that happened on my day off and all of that, we're not doing that. Okay? I'm going to be on their podcast. 9 a.m. my time, which is way early for you guys. You guys usually don't jump on streams till like 11 a.m., but it's 9 a.m. So if you want to see me live on their show, you got to get up early. All right, you got to. And you got to head over there, 9 a.m. Pacific time, on the Side Scrollers show. Side Scrollers is their YouTube channel. All right, and I'll be on there for as long as they want. I mean that. Like, I'm not limiting my time. Because originally I was asking, are you going to have like a normal show? Is it going to be like an hour long, an hour and a half long? And the way that we've been kind of going back and forth and discussing it is basically the interview is going to go however it goes, right? They may or may not ask more stuff about one way or the other way, and the topics are going to extrapolate. As I've told you guys, I really feel like, here's the thing. They're outsiders. They don't know anything about what's happened on the internet with me in the last 10 freaking years. They have no idea. They've been bombarded for 2 straight weeks with so much nonsense from my detractors. They probably don't know how to make heads or tails of any of it. They probably don't even know where to start to ask questions, right? So who knows where the discussion's going to go? I really feel this. This is the truth. I really feel if someone were to actually do a full-fledged interview and address every question, it would take a day. Because that's how much shit has been made up about me on the internet. And I want to emphasize that. Made up about me. Because there are a lot of things that are truthful. A lot of things I've already addressed in things like when I reacted to my Down the Rabbit Hole video last year, and or with the answers that I've given over time here on my own shows and content. The problem is, number one, all that has never been put into one focal point. It's kind of been spread out. You got the Down the Rabbit Hole react. You've got various podcasts and videos here or there. It's never really been one, just watch this if you want your answers, or if you want to hear Phil's answers, right? That's number one. Number two, the answers that I've given have been easily just summarily dismissed by my detractors anyway. So even though I've addressed most of the nonsense that they've said about me, they don't care. They refuse to accept my answers as valid. So in that case, it doesn't really matter if you ask the question. If the question's already been answered, why do you want the question answered or asked again? It doesn't even make sense. Every question they've thrown at me, I've answered. Every one. Every single one. Right? But they just don't like the responses. You see? So I don't know what's going to happen. You would think their show at the longest podcast they've ever done is 2 hours. So you would think they're going to do a 2-hour show where it's just going to be constant questions, me answering, and likely by the end of the show, they're not even going to get through half the stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really feel that. I really feel like it's going to be, they're hearing all these answers for the first time, and they're like, oh, right? And they're basically going to be like, so this is, and they're going to have more questions. They're going to be follow-ups. It's not just like, here's a question, here's your answer, on to the next question. I don't even think it's going to be, here's a question, here's your answer. Oh, here's a follow-up. Okay, here's my follow-up. Let's discuss this in detail and go back and forth till you're satisfied, right? But it feels like that's going to take so long. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think we're going to get through nearly enough. And what's going to end up happening is, it's going to be an interrogation. I know it is. At the end of the show, I'm likely going to feel like, you know, like I was just fucking in an interrogation room with a bunch of detectives with a fucking spotlight on me, which wasn't the point of me appearing on their show, but apparently that's where it's gone. That's what has to happen. Okay? I don't want that, but it seems like that's what has to happen. You guys who are my viewers, who are here on my content every day to watch me live, and you've heard these answers before. I mean it when I say this. If you watch me on the Side Scrollers podcast on Thursday, you're not going to hear or see pretty much anything new. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be the answers you've heard, which is why you're still here every day to hang out with me. You've heard the answers. You're satisfied with the answers, right? And you move on. But these people, my detractors, don't. They can't. They're obsessive. So they don't get the answer they want, which is they want the answer that's going to somehow expose me for horrid wrongdoings and ruin me. That's not going to happen because that's not truthful. Do you see? So you're never going to get that. And that's what they're looking for. Like, seriously, that's what they're looking for. And it's not going to happen. So I don't know what they're expecting. By bombarding the Side Scrollers crew with all these questions about me, they're not going to get giant revelations and shit like that. I've essentially told you guys as much as I can without putting my family and myself and my business at risk, right? I really have. Maybe there'll be a little bit of additional fleshing out of a little bit here and there, but it's not going to be, oh my God, jaw-dropping revelations on this show. It's just not going to happen, all right? So that's what I mean. Like, I don't understand where these people are coming from with the level of harassment and stuff, but that's how they are. They're just obsessed with this nonsense. So realistically, can I tell you how long I will be on the Side Scrollers podcast this week? No, I have no clue. Maybe it'll be the record longest show they've ever done, a fucking marathon, right? It could be. I have no idea. I'm not limiting myself to saying, oh, I'm only going to be on that show for this amount of time and then I'm cutting it off. No, I'm not going to do that. All right? I'm going to give those guys respect because those guys respected me. They offered to have me on their show for fun. They've had to put up with harassment for 2 weeks, which is completely unfair. The amount of people coming on their streams talking about me when their streams are not about me, I feel awful, but again, it's not something that I can control because this thing is so outside of the realm of anything that I have anything to do with or control. As you guys know, and I said this before, I'll say it again, I stay in my lane. I sit here on my streams, I just pay attention to me and myself and my own content. That's it. I have no idea. I even told you guys, I have no idea what they've been talking about for the past couple of months. I don't pay attention to it. I'm sure they've made up more stuff. There's been more drama videos. I don't watch any of them. I pay no attention to any of it. I ignore it all. I'm just here putting out the content that I enjoy making, that you guys like and support. That's all I care about. So let them do what they want to do, right? And be stupid. But I'm not going to be, talking about their crap or anything at all in my content. So, being in my own lane and paying attention to my own shit, I wish I could control what they do. I can't. So, the moment that these guys on Side Scrollers mentioned I was going to be on the show, it's like 2 weeks of bullshit. I'm sure I'm telling you, these guys are going to breathe the biggest sigh of relief when this interview's done. They're going to be like, thank God it's over, and now we can get back to normal business and not have to worry about these people coming by every day talking about Dark Side Phil, right? And I hear that. I you know what? When it's done, I'm going to breathe a sigh of relief too because I feel bad for them. I do. I feel like shit because I don't want other people to have negative impact on their lives because of me. I didn't really do anything. It's not like I said something bad. I caused this situation. This is 100% on my detractors, okay? Now, after the show ends, which we don't know how long the show is going to be, all right? Then, once the show... What's up, Jade? Good to see you. Once the show is done, and I say goodbye to those guys, then I'm going to head over here to my channel, DSP Gaming. We're going to turn on the stream, and we're going to do a decompression stream. What does that mean? It means I'm sure that after having been bombarded by questions, crazy amounts of questions, okay, I'm going to need to relax. I'm going to need to decompress from the nonsense, okay? So that's a good thing, right? I need to, okay, let's just chill. Let's just talk and just have a little bit of chill time here on a stream. And I'm sure some people are going to say, oh, it went this way, it went that way. Personally, like I said, no, I don't think that it's going to be good or bad or whatever. I think it's just going to be, it happened and we get it done with and we kind of move on back to normalcy, okay? And when will that start? I have no idea, right? Literally, I have no clue. I don't know how long the show is going to be. I don't know when the show is going to end. So I can't guarantee you a starting time over here that I'm going to be starting up my own stream. I have no idea whatsoever, all right? So I'll let you know. What it is I know some people will likely be watching it live. Some won't give a crap, right? They just want my content to start to join me. So I can't tell you what time I'll be starting up. But it's whenever the show ends and I say goodbye to those guys or whatever, and then I come over here and I set up my own stuff, and then we get the show going, all right? And we just decompress for a while. Now, maybe, I turn on the stream and we talk for half an hour and we're all good and we could just move on. You want to see me do something else? Maybe we could. Maybe we could jump into something else or whatever. I don't know. Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe we'll just, depending on how long that show is. Normally, like I said, their show starts 9 a.m. my time and it would end roughly between 10:30 and 11 a.m. my time. Okay? And the way I see it, let's say the show runs long. Let's say the show even runs an extra hour, which it might. It might not. I don't know what they're doing. They basically told me if you could not limit your time, they'd appreciate that. And I hear that. Like, I don't want to limit their time. I want them to be able to ask whatever they want to ask. All right? I'm hoping it's not going to be a 5-hour interrogation-a-thon. I really do. But basically, once they're done, then we'll start up over here whenever we get a chance. And that'll be that. And then after that, we'll determine, do we just want to talk for the rest of the day, for the rest of that first stream for me, just a kind of a chill stream. Here's the thing, I'm going to be coming back for my day off. I will have things to talk about, like Phil's day off and stuff like that, right? But maybe we just want to talk about the interview. I don't know how it's going to go, right? So, no, see, Alexander, I'm not going to do that. He's like, you could just leave if it takes too long. The only way I would leave is if basically I'm feeling like they're completely 1,000,000% attacking me and not listening to my answers and not giving me a fair shake, which I don't think they're going to do. That's number one. Or if like literally the show is going past my normal stream times. No, I'm not going to be going on their show at 9 a.m. and continuing past 4 p.m. That's not happening. That's insane. Now, you know, I don't do my own stream that long. I'm not doing their stream that long either, all right? I don't think that's going to happen either, okay? So, yeah, so, you know, that's what's happening. So, again, what's hilarious is that I haven't told you guys yet what day it is. Do you know what day it is? I already basically told you all the other information. Let's see. All right, everyone, based on what I just told you, what day am I appearing on their podcast?